Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. I hope you're taking care of yourself. I hope you're having a great time. And I hope that something unexpectedly good finds you today. My friends, this summer will be intense. This summer will bring us so much of intense energy. And I want to give you a practical guidance how to cope with those intense energies and what's happening on the level of what some people may call an ascension of consciousness. Because a huge shift is happening and we can all feel the energy right now. So many people are writing us constantly that they feel that something is happening and they can't explain. And we can notice it in ourselves, in our energetic system. We can notice it in people around us. Like sometimes people just start to behave a bit differently when certain intense shifts are happening. And I can tell you that something really intense will or is already happening and will happen this summer. Actually, this summer will shake many people, especially those who are ignoring many parts of themselves that require an upgrade, an update, something that we just need to become aware, conscious, and change it for healthier patterns. We'll talk a lot about everything. So firstly, what is happening? We'll have 7 out of 8 planets in retrograde this summer. And the term retrograde actually comes from the Latin word retrograde, which literally means backward step. So basically, when a certain planet goes into retrograde, what our ancient ancestors have discovered was that every time when a planet goes retrograde, a certain pattern starts repeating in society. They've noticed that there was more chaos present on the world, or specifically in a society, when a certain planet went into retrograde, and each planet represents different aspects, and we'll talk about all of them. So firstly, planet Pluto went into retrograde on June 12th and will be until October 1st. Then Saturn went into retrograde on June 17th and will be until November 3rd. And Neptune went into retrograde today as I'm filming this, June 30, and will be until December 5th. Then Venus went into retrograde on July 20, will actually go into retrograde on July 23rd and will be until September 3rd. And then we have Mercury going into retrograde in August 23rd and will be until September 15th. And we have Uranus going into retrograde on August 28th and will be until January 27th. And we have Jupiter going into retrograde on September 4th and will be until December 30. So you see, some planets are already spinning what may look as backwardly, which is not an actual thing, but it has a huge vibrational significance for many of us, especially when we study what kind of energy each planet is kind of projecting. So we have Pluto, Saturn, and Neptune already in retrograde, and planet Pluto symbolizes the energy of regeneration, transformation, and often rebirth. So in the times of the retrograde, this planet may awaken a lot of chaos in the areas of our lives that require a reset, that require restfulness, that require a pause button so that part of us may heal, so we can, let's say, discover what we need to change in our lives so we can thrive. For example, if you're constantly complaining about your job and it seems like you don't like your job, at the time of Pluto going into retrograde, it may happen that feeling of not liking your job will become so intense that you will start complaining, and then manifestations will happen in a way that everything at your job may start to go wrong and things like that, not because a force is punishing you, but because it is reminding you that maybe you need to take some time for yourself and notice if that job is still providing you growth that you need as a spiritual being here in this human journey, right? And it's just something to reflect on. When Saturn goes into retrograde, and it already is, Saturn is a planet of concentration, of performance, of getting rewards, of ambition, of productivity. And when this planet is in retrograde, we often experience a lack of concentration. We often experience a lack of seeing results. We sometimes experience a lack of ambition, and our productivity may be a bit lower. Like if this part of us, let's say our the sense of discipline, the sense of organization in our lives, like how we are able to organize our minds, how we are able to organize our lives. When this sense becomes a bit chaotic, we may feel like we're losing the control. And when we feel like we're losing the control, life is teaching us to let go of control. You can't control everything, and sometimes you need to let go of everything and relax a little bit and go and chill a little bit, go for a walk, go to travel, go explore places. So clarity may find you once again. And once clarity finds you, make a new plan for your life. Make a new structure that will be more sustainable, more beneficial for you. That's what the planet Saturn is teaching you. It is teaching you that it's great to have ambition, it's great to have plans. But sometimes you need to break the old plans. You need to completely let go of the old plans and make new ones. And it happens to us so often in our lives. And right now we are actually in the phase where it's an amazing opportunity to let go of old plans. That's why I've made many videos recently about letting go, taking yourself on an adventure. I am on an adventure right now. We are traveling. We are in Greece right now on a small island, and we are road tripping, going to many wonderful places. And I'm reminding you that it's something that is really, really, really good for our spirits, as adventure is something that always rewards us with something new. Doesn't matter how much may be taken from us during the adventure, whatever happens, we always gain wisdom, we always gain experiences. And this life here, oh, it's all about experiences, my friends. Planet Neptune. When planet Neptune goes into retrograde, and it just went today, well, this one is really strong. When this one goes into retrograde, many people start to feel spiritually disconnected. They start to feel chaotic. They start to feel like their minds went completely out of place. They start to feel or to think all over the place. And usually when Neptune goes into retrograde, people start to think negatively. They start complaining. And they often feel completely lost or kinda not knowing what to do with their lives. And it is happening right now to many people. And I want to remind you, there's nothing negative to this. Again, it's a great reminder for you to slow down, to pause yourself and notice how your life is going until now. How you're satisfied with all the results you've created. Because when you shift your perception, the way that you start looking at your life, like everything is a byproduct of your actions, when you recognize that everything runs under the law of cause and effect, what you're seeing around you are effects of the causes, and you are the cause. And when you recognize, okay, if I don't like where I am, I need to create a better dream for myself. And we're all allowed to dream. And planet Neptune is reminding you of the importance of having a dream and the ability to actually envision that dream into reality, to hold a vision inside of your mind so you can see if that is truly the thing that will bring the necessary growth into your life. Intuition becomes really strong when we start following our hearts, and Neptune is supporting that process. But if you're not doing anything about it, you may feel completely disconnected from your intuition. And then Neptune, at the time of its retrograde, is reminding you, hey, take extra care of yourself, something we call self-care. Take extra care of yourself. And again, right now is a perfect time to let's say, to manage some self-care. Something you need for yourself, because I know you've been there for others, and you are there for others. You're there for your family members, you're there for your friends. But as I've mentioned in my previous videos, right now it's a great time to be selfish a little bit, in a good way, to take time for yourself, to nurture yourself the way you want to be nurtured, and write a list of goals, what you feel that you need for yourself, and start fulfilling those goals. That's where the energy of the planet Neptune will really support you, and you will say, oh, I'm so grateful that I've started to feel a sense of chaos in my life, only so it awakened me to a greater degree of what I truly need for myself. Then on July 23rd, Venus goes into retrograde. And Venus is also known as the planet of love. Usually when Venus goes into retrograde, people experience a lot of chaos in their relationships, their romance life, but also money. And they often feel like they're not enough, like there's something missing. And again, it is an important reminder that nothing is missing in this universe once we know who we are. Because once we know who we are, we recognize that we are the extension of the source that gives life to everything. So if we learn to tap into the energy of the source, we'll be provided with everything. We'll feel that we are already everything. And when we feel that we are everything, we can't feel that we are not enough. We can't feel unworthy anymore. And for that, we need a certain practice that can help us to tap into that energy. And the planet Venus is teaching you, or better said, reminding you. Its energy is reminding you of the power of love. And love is within you. It's not outside of there. It's not in a certain specific person you want to attract into your life. It is within you. It is teaching you to become detached from the need to meet a specific person, because a person who's meant to find you will find you. And it is teaching you to trust the divine timing, because there is a divine timing for everything. So I want to remind you, a person who's meant to find you, your soulmate, your twin flame, a person who's meant to find you will find you when the time is right. So keep doing you. Keep working on yourself. Keep tapping into that inner love and love yourself a little bit more. And you know that self-love is not just saying some beautiful affirmations to yourself. Self-love is taking care of the good habits that are nurturing health within you. And ancient Greeks had this word virtue, become virtuous, which means to embody good habits. And they said that we need to take care of two major parts of us. One is mental, intellectual, to practice good habits for your mind, to train your mind, to expand your knowledge, to learn, to read books, to study, to work on articulating yourself, expressing yourself. And then the second one, the second part of us that is really important when it comes to self-love is embodying, putting knowledge into action, embodying what we've learned. So we are not just expanding our minds, we are also expanding our life's experiences. And that is the truest form of self-love. Expansion of our mind and expansion of our life's experiences. Because if you imagine that you're here on a purpose, on a mission, and one of the greatest things you can provide to yourself is new experiences, because that's how you learn, that's how you grow. And as you're growing, you're eventually also meeting people who may need something you can provide. And that's where you experience a great sense of love and care for those people. And a sense of purpose will awaken within your heart that will say to you, okay, I want to help those people. And the planet Venus is reminding you that you're here on a purpose. And when you will give more love to yourself, you will be able to share more love with others. And then on August 23rd, planet Mercury goes into retrograde. And this planet represents the principles of communication. It also represents thinking patterns. It basically represents our intellectual capacities, our mind, our ability of expressing our thoughts. And when Mercury goes into retrograde, it will go on August 23rd. Sometimes we may experience this mental fog. We may experience like our mind went out of the place. And it's a wonderful reminder to meditate a little bit more, to recognize where we've went off the track. And meditation usually helps us to see things more clearly, as meditation means to become more familiar with yourself. So if you're meditating correctly, in quietness, at beautiful places, focusing on your breathing, focusing on your inner quietness, calming down your body, calming down your nervous system, your subconscious mind will give you ideas, it will give you insights, it will give you anything you need. And that's where the energy of Mercury will start supporting you and navigating your mind into the right direction. So at this time, it will be important for you to really meditate, to really ground your energy, and be clear and precise about the life you want to live. Be intentional, because often in this time, people start to think really dark and negative thoughts. But we only think dark and negative thoughts because we don't feed our minds with the right information, and we don't take time to let go of the old outdated beliefs so we could form new ones. And at that time it's a great phase actually to work on what we may call shadow work, to reflect on our past and actually find the things we can be grateful for so we can uplift our energy. But obviously at that time I will make more videos for daily guidance, as we're doing it every single day. We have another planet, Uranus. On August 28th, it goes into retrograde. And this planet is so incredible because it's also called as Awakener. It's the planet that rules Aquarius. This is the energy of awakening. This is the energy that makes unconscious people more conscious, that shifts us into the most uncomfortable situations only so we would awaken. And that's what's happening around the world right now. All those scenarios, all those experiences are just providing us an opportunity to awaken, to become more conscious. For some people it's happening beautifully, other people will be shaken, and for other people it may be even chaotic and stressful. But I want to remind you, as long as you're staying grounded and connected with yourself, you will be provided with insights and intuitive guidance that will take you to exactly where you need to be, where you're meant to be at this time. And then on September 4th, Jupiter goes into retrograde, and at this time you will be provided with a lot of potential interesting events that will question your growth, your expansion, your healing. So it's actually a beautiful phase, because as we're moving through healing every single day, we are healing certain parts of ourselves. Here and there we need to be challenged to notice how much work we've actually done on ourselves, right? And healing can be challenged the way that something from the past repeats, and we see how much differently we respond to it. So Jupiter is this planet of growth, of expansion, of prosperity, of good fortune, of miracles, and obviously healing. And when Jupiter goes into retrograde, we often are exposed to, let's say, to things that may challenge our growth, that may challenge our healing's journey, that may challenge our expansion. And that's a beautiful phase where we actually notice how much we've grown. But obviously it's a little bit chaotic for many people, because people may say, oh, why so many stuff from the past is again repeating? But obviously, just so you would notice how much differently you're treating the similar events, until you get to such an awakened point where you can be nothing else but grateful for everything that's happening. But it's not an intellectual thing. It's not a belief like, oh, I'm grateful for everything. It's an actual experience that needs to take place in our hearts, that reminds us that at some point we'll make peace with everything to such a degree that we'll be at peace with everything. And that is the completion of healing. And we can only wait and see what can happen after that. So my friends, don't take all those things too seriously. Don't take all your life's challenges too seriously, because everything is just a journey of lessons. Everything is just a journey of a student, but at the same time of a master. And you are a student who is becoming a master and is already a master at something. So just take it easy and always listen to your own guidance. Always listen to yourself and never push yourself beyond what you think that is healthy for you. Take it easy, because I said retrograde means backward step. And sometimes we need to make few steps backward just to see if we are still going into the right direction. It's all okay with pushing yourself beyond your limits. It's all okay with being ambitious and everything. But sometimes we need to make some steps backwards to see and to reassure if we're still walking into the right direction. Because sometimes we need to change the way, right? And I want to remind you that it's completely okay if you find yourself being lost and you find yourself like nothing makes sense, because it's just a reminder, it's just a sign that you're awakening to a whole new journey that is about to unfold in your life. And new journey will bring you new opportunities, new incredible, miraculous manifestations will find you, and a lot of new people will come into your life that will help you to show the right way, the right direction, and anything you need to know at this point. So my friends, I hope you found something valuable in today's video. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power. I also hope you've enjoyed in today's painting. To find more of my art, you can go and check out my Etsy shop, I Draw My Passion. The link is also in the description of this video. Thank you so much for your support. Have a wonderful day, and till next time, one love.